Open the door to a hotel room and see the same picture almost everywhere. White sheets pulled tight, pillows stacked neatly, and one dark strip of fabric lying across the foot of the bed. It looks intentional. It also looks almost useless. Too small to be a blanket, too narrow to cover the mattress. Many guests move it aside before they even open their suitcase. So why do hotels keep putting it there? Is it decoration, a place to sit, a surface for luggage, or a shield for the white bedding underneath? The odd part is that this cloth is supposed to help keep the bed cleaner. Yet in some hotels, it may not be washed after every guest. Before deciding whether to use it or avoid it, we should first call it by its proper name. Let's get into it right here on Simple Things Revealed. It is not a blanket, it is a bed runner. That narrow strip is called a bed runner. Unlike a sheet, blanket, or bedspread, it is not meant to cover someone during sleep. It lies across one specific area, the foot of the bed. The end of the bed is where guests are most likely to sit or place belongings before unpacking. It is the border between the clean sleeping space and everything that has just arrived from outside. The runner covers the part most likely to be used first. That simple placement tells us what problem it was designed to solve. But the problem only exists because hotels made another choice long ago. They began dressing beds in white. Why are hotel beds usually white? Hotel beds were not always covered from top to bottom in white. As hotels placed more importance on presentation and visible cleanliness, however, white bedding became common. The change was also about trust. A colorful pattern can disguise a mark. White fabric cannot. By choosing a surface that exposes flaws, hotels made the condition of the bed easier for guests to judge the moment they entered. White makes a room feel brighter, calmer, and more uniform. It also makes hair, stains, and dust easier to notice. Of course, white fabric does not prove that a room has been sanitized. It simply makes visible dirt harder to hide. That is also its weakness. The same color that suggests cleanliness exposes every careless contact. Hotels therefore face a practical problem. The bed must look fresh, but guests still need to sit down, unpack, and use the room naturally. The bed runner offers one simple response, and the object most likely to test those white sheets is often the first thing brought into the room, the suitcase. The buffer between a suitcase and clean sheets. A suitcase can look perfectly clean while carrying a record of the journey underneath it. Its wheels may have crossed airport floors, train platforms, hotel corridors, sidewalks, and car trunks. Then, seconds after check-in, many travelers lift it onto the foot of the bed, unzip it, and begin unpacking. People also sit there to remove shoes, drop shopping bags, or rest their feet. Different habits, same destination, the end of the bed. The runner turns that spot into a deliberate contact zone. It is usually thicker than the sheet below and better able to handle friction. Dark colors and patterns make small marks less obvious. Its narrow shape also allows staff to remove it without stripping the entire bed. The goal is not to make luggage clean. It is simply to reduce direct contact with the white linen underneath. Think of a doormat. It does not erase everything carried in on a pair of shoes. It just gives some of that dirt a place to stop before moving farther inside. For a guest, it is convenient. For the hotel, it concentrates everyday wear in one small area. A small piece of fabric in a massive operation. Behind every tidy hotel room is a constant flow of laundry. Sheets, pillowcases, towels, and other fabrics must be collected, washed, checked, and returned to rooms. One dark mark may mean treating an item separately, washing it again, or replacing it. A runner gives that wear a smaller place to land. If the end of the bed is the only area affected, removing one narrow strip can be simpler than dealing with a larger piece of bedding. It is easier to carry, inspect, and replace. Normal laundry still follows each hotel's own schedule. The runner simply reduces some extra handling caused by minor marks in the most exposed area. Across one room, the difference may seem trivial. Across dozens or hundreds of rooms, small tasks add up quickly. A dirty sheet creates work across a large surface. A dirty runner gives staff a smaller item to manage. But if protection were the only goal, any plain cloth could do the job. So why are bed runners so often colorful, patterned, and carefully matched to the room? When function becomes part of the design, a completely white bed can look fresh. It can also look unfinished. The bed runner brings color back without taking away the clean white base. Its pattern may echo the curtains, carpet, chair, cushions, artwork, or even the hotel's brand colors. One narrow strip can make separate objects feel as though they belong in the same room. It is also a flexible design tool. Instead of replacing an entire bedding set, a hotel can change the runner and give the room a different mood. The white sheets stay the same, the visual identity changes. A seasonal pattern, a local motif, or a new brand color can be introduced without redesigning the entire bed. Placement makes the effect stronger. In most hotel rooms, the bed is the largest object visible from the doorway. A runner cuts across that broad white surface exactly where the eye is likely to land, so the fabric is doing more than protecting the foot of the bed. It breaks up a large field of white, adds contrast, and helps the room feel finished. That sounds efficient. One object, two jobs. But it also creates the question travelers care about most. How often is the runner itself cleaned? The paradox: the protective layer may not be freshly washed. Sheets and pillowcases are direct contact items, so they are commonly changed between guests. A bed runner may be treated differently because it is decorative or secondary bedding. Its cleaning schedule depends on the hotel. It may be washed between stays, on a fixed rotation, or when visible marks appear. From appearance alone, a guest cannot tell which routine applies. That creates the central contradiction. The surface designed to receive the messiest contact may not be among the fabrics cleaned most often. That does not make every runner dirty or dangerous. It means a spotless appearance cannot reveal when it was last washed. That uncertainty is enough for some travelers to move it aside as soon as they enter the room. It is also one reason some hotels have started simplifying the bed itself. The important point is not to panic. It is to recognize the difference between something that looks clean and something known to have been freshly cleaned. Hotels sell both comfort and reassurance. When a decorative item makes guests question either one, its value begins to change. Why are some hotels removing bed runners? Not every hotel uses a bed runner today. Some keep it because it protects the foot of the bed, adds color, and supports the room's design. Others prefer an all-white bed with fewer decorative layers. Minimalist interiors have become more common. A simpler bed can feel easier to inspect, while fewer removable pieces leave fewer questions about cleaning. Some rooms solve the same practical problem in other ways. A luggage rack keeps suitcases off the bed. A bench at the foot gives guests somewhere to sit. Once those alternatives are in place, the runner becomes less necessary. Its disappearance does not mean it never had a purpose. It means hotel priorities are shifting. A layered bed once helped signal luxury. Today, a simpler surface can communicate care just as effectively, especially when guests value clarity over decoration. A simple hotel room tip: when a luggage rack is available, use it. The bottom of a suitcase has usually touched more public surfaces than almost anything else in the room. Keeping it away from the sleeping area is sensible even when a bed runner is present. Avoid placing personal pillows, towels, sleepwear, or anything that regularly touches your face on the runner. If you would rather not use it, do not throw it onto the floor. Fold it on an unused chair or ask housekeeping to remove it. None of this requires treating the runner as a threat. It is simply a matter of using each part of the room for the job it handles best. The rack is for luggage, the bed is for sleeping, and the runner is a reminder that those two worlds are better kept apart. Between cleanliness and the appearance of cleanliness. The bed runner looks like a minor decoration, but it reveals how much planning hides inside an ordinary hotel room. Guests arrive with luggage and traces of the outside world. The runner gives that contact a designated place while helping a plain white bed feel complete. But the idea only works when the routine behind it is clear. A protective layer that is rarely cleaned can create the very doubt it was meant to prevent. That is why some hotels still rely on the runner, while others have removed it in favor of simpler bedding and separate luggage racks. In the end, this narrow strip sits between two things every hotel tries to balance: keeping a room clean and making that cleanliness immediately believable. Do you leave the bed runner in place, use it for luggage, or move it aside the moment you enter the room? Share your habit in the comments, along with another hotel detail whose purpose has always puzzled you. Subscribe to Secrets of Simple Things for more stories hidden inside the ordinary things we see every day.